Hey everybody, welcome back to another one of our bonus solve the exercises in the chapter videos. This time we're gonna take a look at getting Dapple to follow Sancho around. Kind of add it as part of our quest thing that we've got going on here in chapter 8. So what we've got is we've finished adding in. I can go get my sheep, right? I can come over here and we have our where is it, our our collecting right here, and we can come down here and we can grab us a sheep like so. Hey sheep, I found you sheep, and my sheep will then follow me around, right? So that's where we were, and that's what we got working. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add in another one, basically same kind of thing but different. So I'm going to start off by changing this one from collecting to sheep quest. I'm going to call it sheep quest. And I'm going to actually turn it off by default. I don't want it on. Okay. And let's see. So back in chapter 5 was the last time we did anything with Dapple. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my chapter 5 Dapple and throw him into my scene here. And where are you at, Dapple? You're out in the water because, hey, yeah, whatever. And I will go ahead and take a look at Dapple. Let's get him positioned here. Oh, I don't know. Let's put him over here. Yeah, he fell through the ground. That's nice. We'll pull him up a little bit. And put him something like that. And let's see. So we're automatically going to play his walk animation. Not cool. We'll turn that off. Let's go take a look at his follow. What do we have going on here? So we have let's edit our instance. So we have we're going to play a random animation. Then if Sancho has moved far enough away, we're going to go follow him. Okay, so we don't actually have anything that kind of like triggers this, so to speak, starts the process. By that I mean if I go ahead and hit play right here, and we gotta take a look at something. Sancho, he doesn't know who Sancho is, so let's grab our Sancho and drag him down into there. There we go. And now you can see he's trying to figure out where Sancho is. And I saw the white line going that way and thought, that's kind of weird. But, yeah. Okay, so, and now you see our donkey is like, hey, Sancho, wait for me. I'll be there soon. And here comes donkey, and hey, donkey. And he'll get close enough, and then he's going to go into his idol. Okay, well, that's all cool and whatnot, but I don't want him chasing Sancho until Sancho has come up and found him first. So let's come into here. Let's edit instance again. I'm going to go ahead and add a new state to this. I'm going to call this state waiting. Yeah, I kind of drew a blank. I don't know. Waiting, add transition. I'm sorry, not add transition. Set as start state. Let's put it up here. Let's see, we're going to need a variable. So I'm going to create a bool variable, and basically I'm going to follow along much of the logic that we did with our sheep. So I need an amFound variable. Add that. It's going to be false by default. Looks cool. Let's see, let's come over here. Let's create another event. I'll call this event start follow, or Sancho found me, whatever. Let's add start follow right here, start follow, and that one will go down here to our old idle. And now inside here, let's go ahead and I like this play random animation we've got here. So let's do a control C. I'm going to copy that one, go back up to waiting, right click, let's paste it. Nice. And let's see, let's add action browser. Let's add a bool test. And the bool test I want to be testing for is going to be amFound. If it's true, we're going to start following, and we're going to do this every frame. Okay. Now, if we run this, donkey should just stay over there. And he does. And he's waiting. Nice. Okay. Alright, so with that taken care of, next up we need to go ahead and give him a collision. That's what we gave our sheep as well. So let's go with add physics. We need I'm going to put a box collider around it. I don't want it down there in the ground. Maybe right about there. let's increase our X and Z. I don't really care so much about the height, so maybe like a 3 and a 3. You know, we got this nice little box around it. That's cool. And I'm going to make that a trigger. And you know what? While I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and add another collider that I'm going to keep inside there. Let's move you up to about 1. Actually, let's line you up with the bottom of his feet. So let's slide you down. Well, let's move Donkey up. Come on, Donkey. Show you something kind of interesting here. So we'll go ahead and now let's slide this down roughly to the bottom of his feet. There we go. And really this one, I'm only using this one to keep Sancho from running through my donkey and to know where the ground is. Okay. Now also, the other thing we're going to need, let's see. Are we going to need it? Well, let's just, let's leave this like so. And we have a floating donkey out there. Now we can run over there and touch our donkey, right? Alright, let's get over here into Sancho. Right there. And I'm going to add a add component. And the component I'm going to add will be a playmaker state machine. And I'm going to call this one Dapple Quest. And go ahead and edit. So we're in here. So what we've got is we're going to have a I'll call this waiting, and we're going to need another one, add state. Let's call it touched Dapple, or follow me, you know, whatever. Okay, we're going to need a couple events. Actually, we're only going to need one, and I'm going to call this one found Dapple. And I'm going to need a variable, and this variable is going to be a game object. I'm going to call it target, and should start remembering target, you know, kind of if we go back to some of our spider stuff we did, and I'll add that. And we could also, you know, kind of jump over and take a look at our sheep quest, you know, and see what we've got here, and see we've got our target here as well. So, you know, I'm doing much of the same stuff that we did for our sheep quest. I just don't need nearly the complexity that we had there, because there's only one Dapple to find. Okay, so we're waiting. Whenever we have found Dapple, we are going to, let's see, we need a trigger event. That is what is going to fire this whole thing. And it is going to be when we collide with on trigger enter, we collide with a Dapple. And if you don't have a Dapple, just add your tag to it. Add Dapple, and we're going to say we found Dapple. And then we're going to store what we just collided with inside our target. And then we'll come over here to touched Dapple. And for our touched Dapple, we will, what will we do? We will do a action browser, FSM bool. We will set an FSM bool. And the FSM bool we're going to set will be not the owner, specify. And I'm going to specify target. And I'm going to have to type some stuff in here. So let's look at what we've got for Dapple. Make sure we spell things correctly here. So we've got a follow, and the variable that I'm going to be interested in inside the follow is amFound. Alright, so we've got a FSM name is follow. My variable name is amFound. Stop it. amFound. And my value is true. And then I want to do one other thing, and that is actually disable this quest, because I have now finished it. So I'll do an action browser and do an enable FSM. And let's see, we will go with use owner, we'll go with Dapple Quest, we're going to turn that off. It doesn't matter this reset on exit because it never exits, so whatever. Yeah, let's see what we've got here. So let's go ahead and go see if we can find Dapple and see what Dapple thinks about life now. Get rid of this little warning down here. Oh, keep running, Sancho. You're cool. No, don't do that. Just run. Go be a happy Sancho. And then we get over here, and the donkey's like, yeah, whatever. Okay, so what we're going to have to do is in our Dapple, we're going to go ahead and do an add component, physics, and we're going to add this rigid body. And I'm going to freeze my X and Z and also all my rotations. But an interesting thing about this Y is that it's going to allow it to move on the Y, which means gravity will pull it down until it collides with something. Pretty cool stuff. So let's take a look here, and you see how he fell down, and now he's over there standing on the ground the way a good donkey should. And let's see what he thinks about life now. And he's still like, yeah, no. And the reason for that is, if we take a look here, he is untagged. So we'll change his tag to Dapple, and then come over here, and he's like, hey, what's up, Sancho? We'll move away, and he's like, I got this, Sancho. And also notice, if we take a look at Sancho, so he's idling, cool, hi, and we're waving, that quest is supposed to be turned off. Oh, it reset itself. Yeah. So that was moderately dumb on my part. So let's do that. And then we'll run over here again. Go find the donkey. And notice the donkey's like, yeah, no. And we've got this yeah, no going on because, donkey, where are you? Because I tagged him while the game was running, so it didn't store that. So let's go ahead and remove our rigid body. You just kind of check some stuff out. You know, nothing wrong with experimenting, just see what happens. So let's run over here. And there he goes. So you see, he doesn't need the rigid body. Why? Because Sancho has a character controller in him, and that already covers all of that for us. So we don't really need the rigid body there. Although the rigid body gave us that ability to have him drop onto the ground. So, you know, it's kind of really nice anyway. And yeah, we're following, we're chasing. And Sancho, what's going on with Sancho? Have we successfully turned off that quest? There we go, and that one is off. And as far as like turning this one on or turning this one on, that can be handled by a conversation with Teresa. Once we go talk to her and she says go find Dapple, we can then turn on the Dapple quest. She says go find sheep, we can then turn on the sheep quest, and all this stuff is handled. So, you know, pretty cool stuff we've got going on there. Alright, questions, comments, anything, just throw them in the comment section below. Otherwise, have a good day, and bye bye.